Okay, let's try and wrap our heads around this. We're talking over $1 trillion lost globally
Huh?
just last year to scammers.
It's a staggering number.
And the main driver behind this huge jump, it seems to be artificial intelligence.
That's right.
Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through the noise to get you the real story. And today, well, our mission is pretty clear. Figure out how criminals are actually using AI to steal money, and, maybe more importantly, what we can possibly do about it.
Yeah, it's a strange intersection, isn't it? Cutting edge tech meeting really old school greed, but just massively amplified. For this deep dive, we've looked at, reports, news articles,
Lots of
analyses,
sources.
lots of sources, yeah. And they're all pointing to this quite worrying trend. AI isn't just hype, it's actively fueling this global scam epidemic. We need to look past the shiny potential and see this darker side, too.
It really feels like it happened overnight.
Yeah.
I mean, just a couple of years back, AI was mostly like science fiction talk, right?
Yeah.
And now it's somehow the main tool in a trillion-dollar crime wave. How do we get here so fast?
Well, the big shift seems to have happened around 2022. That's when these much more powerful and crucially much more accessible AI tools started popping up,
Accessible meaning.
meaning easier for anyone to use. Think ChatGPT for writing incredibly human-like text, or tools like OpenVoice for voice cloning.
Right.
And there are even things like Fraud GPT, which, well, the name says it all. They're built for malicious use. It's like scammers suddenly got handed a superpowered toolkit.
A superpower toolkit. Yeah, that sums it up. Suddenly they can create voices that sound exactly like your mom, or churn out fake emails that look totally legit. It's a real game changer for them, isn't it?
It absolutely is. These tools have kind of democratized deception. You don't need to be a tech genius or have a huge criminal network anymore. The AI does the heavy lifting, making the fake voices, the videos, the text messages, almost on demand.
And it feels like the rules, the laws, they just haven't caught up at all.
Not even close.
It's like this digital Wild West. And these AI scammers are just having a field day.
That's a really key point. A lot of this AI is still experimental, right? Combine that with, frankly, a lack of strong, consistent global rules and enforcement.
Yeah.
And you've created the perfect storm. Scammers love new tech where the legal guardrails are still being built or just aren't there internationally.
And the money. That $1.03 trillion figure for 2024 from the Global Anti-Scam Alliance. I mean, you compare that to the GDP of entire countries.
It's mind-blowing. It really shows this isn't just about individuals losing money, though that's terrible.
Right.
This is a huge drag on the whole global economy. It's like
Right.
wiping a medium-sized country's entire economic output off the map.
Okay, so AI is the engine. Let's get specific now. How exactly are they using it? What are the main tactics we're seeing?
Well, one of the most unsettling uses is definitely voice cloning and these things called deepfakes.
Okay.
AI can now copy someone's voice incredibly accurately, sometimes needing only a tiny audio sample, just a few seconds.
Which leads straight to things like that awful Hi Mum scam, right? Where you get a call. Sounds exactly like your kid.
Exactly. They sound panicked. They need money now.
Terrifying.
And
right?
it's not theoretical. Look at Canada. They've seen a huge surge in what's called vishing voice phishing, hitting older adults hard.
How?
Scammers use AI to mimic grandkids' voices. They prey on that immediate emotional reaction, that instinct to help family. Our trust in a familiar voice is so deep. AI weaponizes that. It bypasses our normal skepticism.
It's just horrible.
Right.
And it's not just audio, is it? It's video, too. These deepfakes.
Yes, deepfakes. Manipulated videos or audio where AI makes someone look or sound like they're saying or doing something they never did.
Like that Hong Kong case. That was wild.
Unbelievable, wasn't it? 2024. A finance worker gets on a video call, sees people who look exactly like senior executives from his company.
But they weren't real.
Nope. AI deepfakes. Completely convincing. He authorized transfers. $25 million gone. Just like that.
25 million. Wow. It makes you second guess everything you see online, doesn't it?
It really does.
And you mentioned specific tools. Like, what makes these fakes so good?
Tools like OpenVoice, which actually came out of research at MIT and Tsinghua University.
Okay.
They're incredibly good at capturing the tiny details, the rhythm, the tone, even slight stutters or accents. Makes the clone almost impossible to tell from the real person just by listening.
Okay, so voice and video are major threats. What about good old-fashioned phishing? Emails, texts. Has AI supercharged those too?
Oh, absolutely. Generative AI, like ChatGPT, can write phishing emails and texts that are grammatically perfect. flawless English, or whatever language they need.
So none of those clumsy mistakes that used to be a dead giveaway.
Exactly. Those red flags are disappearing. But it's more than just grammar.
How so?
AI is brilliant at personalizing these scams now. It scrapes social media, public records, and crafts messages that mention your job, maybe your pet's name, something you posted about recently. Makes it feel incredibly real, like it's meant just for you. There's a Wall Street Journal report, June 2023, I think, about how AI can even learn and mimic the specific writing style of a company. So a fake internal memo looks completely authentic.
Oh, and this personalization, I assume it extends to investment scams too, not just generic get-rich-quick emails anymore.
Precisely. The DC Department of Insurance, Securities, and Banking, they've warned about this. AI-driven scams on fake crypto platforms.
Right.
The pitches are highly customized. They seem to know your financial interests, maybe your risk tolerance, much more persuasive than the old scattergun approach.
It really feels like they're covering all the bases.
Yeah.
What about fake websites, investment schemes?
Yeah, AI is being used to build incredibly convincing fake websites. They can look identical to a real bank or a government site.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. Complete with AI-generated headshots of fake CEOs, glowing testimonials that are totally fabricated, all designed to look legitimate and build trust quickly.
So you think you're on a legit site, but it's all fake.
Exactly. Guardio found a case, I think they flagged it for 2025, where AI built entire fake sites impersonating real organizations just to lure people into bogus crypto investments.
And it goes beyond just fake sites, right? They're manipulating markets too.
Correct. Those pump and dump schemes. AI makes them easier. AI bots can create loads of fake trading activity around some obscure cryptocurrency, making the price shoot up artificially.
Right.
That attracts real investors who see the price rising, they jump in.
And then the scammers sell everything. The price collapses and the real investors are left holding worthless coins.
You got it. The Global Anti-Scam Alliance report from 2024 specifically mentioned AI being used in investment frauds that play on the hype around AI itself.
But
very meta.
it's just layer upon layer of deception. And then there are those particularly nasty pig butchering scams. How does AI fit into those? They sound awful.
They are awful. Pig butchering, it often starts in Southeast Asia. It's a long con. The scammer builds a relationship, could be romantic, could be just friendly over weeks, maybe months. Then they introduce the fake investment.
So where does the AI come in? Maintaining the relationship.
Exactly. It helps maintain the illusion over that long period, instead of one scammer trying to juggle dozens of conversations.
The AI can handle it. Crafting messages, keeping the romance or friendship going.
Precisely. ABC News highlighted this. AI generates these very personalized, emotionally engaging messages. It adapts to the victim's replies, making the connection feel incredibly real and deep.
Which makes the betrayal even worse when the investment pitch finally comes.
Devastating. And the UN Office of Drugs and Crime, they reported a jump, get this, 1,530% in deepfake fraud in the Asia-Pacific between 2022 and 2023.
1,500%.
Yeah. And a lot of that is linked to these kinds of tactics, often using tools like FraudGPT to manage it all.
Hearing these specific examples really drives it home. That $25 million Hong Kong deepfake, or, reports like the AARP one in 2024 about a guy in Chicago losing $60,000 to a romance scammer using a deepfake crypto pitch. These aren't abstract stats.
No, they're real people losing real money. And those are just the ones we hear about. That CSIS report from December 2024 talked about these huge fraud factories, mainly in Southeast Asia.
Factories.
Industrial-scale operations. They estimate these places generate $3 trillion a year.
Wait, $3 trillion? With a T?
That's the estimate. Using trafficked labor, using AI for everything deepfakes, malware distribution, running sextortion scams, investment fraud, the whole horrible menu.
$3 trillion. I can't even... Where is this mostly coming from? You mentioned Southeast Asia.
Yes, Southeast Asia is a major hub. Parts of Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia in particular. We know Chinese criminal syndicates are heavily involved.
Have there been crackdowns?
There have been some,
Yeah.
like one in Myanmar in 2023 targeting a big sextortion ring. But it's a massive, complex problem.
And what about China itself?
Yeah.
Especially since, as you said, some of the AI tools originate there.
Well, the Chinese government typically denies official involvement, but China is definitely a significant source country for these scams. You have tools like OpenVoice developed at Tsinghua University. Even if for legit research, the potential for misuse is there. And the UNODC has documented trafficked victims, often Chinese citizens themselves, being forced to work in these scam compounds across the border.
It really is a global mess. Are there other major hotspots?
India and Nigeria are also significant. Nigerian Yahoo boys, known for online scams for years, are now using AI to boost their romance scams, according to Get CyberSafe.
Right.
And it's complex because, as the Global Anti-Scam Alliance points out, some developing countries hit hard by scams, like Pakistan or Kenya losing significant chunks of their GDP,
Yeah.
are also becoming points of origin for scams themselves. It's often driven by economic hardship, creating this difficult cycle.
This all sounds incredibly bleak. Is there anything we can actually do? What are the safeguards? For us as individuals and for the big institutions.
There absolutely are things we can do. It requires action on both fronts, individual and institutional. For individuals, the absolute number one thing is developing a strong digital skepticism, healthy suspicion, basically.
Meaning, if you get a weird call or message.
Verify it independently, always. Call comes supposedly from your kid in trouble, hang up. Call them back on the number you know is theirs.
Okay.
Message claims to be from your bank or the government. Don't click the link. Don't call the number they gave you. Go to the official website or use a known customer service number to check if it's real.
Simple but effective.
And here's a low-tech idea, a family safe word. If someone calls claiming to be family and asking for money, ask for the safe word. A scammer won't know it.
That's smart. And what about those demands for specific payment types?
Huge red flag. Be extremely wary if anyone pressures you to pay with cryptocurrency, wire transfers, or gift cards. Legitimate companies just don't operate like that for ethical consumer issues. And remember the classic advice, if it sounds too good to be true.
It probably is. Yeah.
It really is.
So basic online security is more important than ever.
Absolutely fundamental. Strong, unique passwords for everything. Turn on two-factor authentication wherever you can.
Right.
Keep your software updated, your phone, your computer, your apps. Those updates often patch security holes scammers exploit. Seacoast Bank emphasizes this. And just stay informed. Check resources like the FTC or here in NYC, the DCWP. Know the latest scams and talk about it, especially with older relatives or friends who might be more vulnerable.
Okay, so that's on us. What about the big players? Banks, tech companies, what are they doing?
Well, institutions are starting to fight back, often using AI themselves. Banks and payment companies are using AI for better transaction monitoring, looking for weird patterns in real time.
Like Visa Protect?
Exactly. Visa Protect A2A is one example. They also need to invest heavily in detecting deepfakes, though that's a constant cat and mouse game. The tech to make fakes is evolving fast.
So it's an arms race, basically.
It really is. Companies also need stricter internal controls. Fisher Phillips suggests things like multiple approvals needed for large money transfers,
Makes sense.
and maybe even banning employees from making deepfakes using company resources or time to prevent misuse from the inside. But really crucial is collaboration.
Between who?
Banks, social media platforms, Meta, X, etc., phone companies, law enforcement, they have to share information and work together across borders. The Global Anti-Scam Alliance stresses this. Even crypto firms need better ways to trace illicit funds on the blockchain.
And what about global regulation? Is anyone trying to coordinate this internationally?
That's a major weak point, honestly. There's a real lack of standardized global rules specifically for scams, especially AI-powered ones. We need bodies like the UN to really push for effective, enforceable AI oversight globally.
So the laws are lagging way behind the tech.
Way behind. Law enforcement worldwide needs serious training on AI on blockchain just to investigate these crimes effectively. And they face challenges getting cooperation from some platforms, like Telegram, where scammers often operate. And finally, the recovery rate for victims is shockingly low, like maybe 4% globally. We desperately need better ways to get stolen money back, especially in places like the US and UK that are prime targets.
This goes so much deeper than just lost money, doesn't it? It feels like it chips away at something fundamental.
It really does. AI scams erode trust. Trust in digital communications, trust in institutions, maybe even trust in each other online.
Sure.
The massive financial loss is one thing, that $1 trillion CSIS talks about. But that money also fuels crime and instability in the countries where these scams originate. It creates lawless zones.
It's a vicious cycle. The scams fund more sophisticated scam technology.
Precisely. And while the good guys are developing AI defenses, the scammers are innovating just as fast, if not faster. So right now, our response often feels more reactive than proactive, despite what officials might say.
Okay, so just to quickly recap the course, Rets, we've got AI cloning voices, creating perfect phishing messages, building fake investment platforms from scratch, and running those incredibly manipulative long-term pig butchering scams.
And it's happening everywhere, originating from places like Southeast Asia, China, India, Nigeria, but affecting pretty much everyone online, globally.
And the key thing for you listening is be proactive.
Hmm.
Verify everything. Use strong security basics. Be skeptical of urgent demands for money or info. And on the bigger picture, we need much better collaboration and regulation to even begin to tackle this properly.
Which leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? What's the real cost here? It's not just the $1 trillion. What's the price we pay in lost trust in tech, in our online interactions, maybe even in the stability of our digital world? As AI keeps racing ahead, thinking critically and staying vigilant has never been more important.
So as you've listened to this deep dive, what really stood out to you? What are your thoughts on how AI is changing this landscape of deception? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this exploration.